Welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. It is the familiar sight of skeletons trapped above the enchanting table. And with the power of my sword we will crush their bones, for we need lots and lots of bone blocks. How about enough to fill up an entire shulker box full? And this will be more than enough for the renovations I am planning over here at our blast chamber. I'm going to spend a lot of time making concrete in this area, so I think it's time that we decorate this project. So why the bone blocks, you might ask? Well, they've actually been a common material used at the base of our builds so far, and we're just going to continue that tradition and have bone blocks all the way around here. Now you might be thinking it looks a little big and clunky at the moment, and you're right, and that's because we're yet to add any other shapes or details to it. But right now the sun is setting, and that allows me to show off of what we've built just behind these trees. This says hazardous, right? It really does. But it's not hazardous because mobs will spawn on it. Oh no, I've actually got some glowstone hidden under the carpet, and it's actually like every 3 blocks. Yeah, there's a grid going on here. So if I go 3 blocks in any direction, we have glowstone below. So it's spawn-proofed from mobs. They're not going to hang out down here, but it's for the theming, right? This is a very hazardous area. And we've had a material swap out here. You probably would have noticed it was white concrete next to these bone blocks, and then I realized white concrete is the material that we build with going vertical, which we're going to do here. And then it needs some contrast because of that. So we're introducing iron blocks, which is a nice bright white, and it's industrial, so it's going to fit into this area. Now the contraption that we are building around the blast chamber doesn't actually fit inside of the walls that we're building. And that's fine because we're going to go for a little bit of chaos in this design. So there will actually be parts of the redstone on display, and maybe bits of the structure itself will bulge out in an attempt to incorporate this into the tower we're creating. To do this, we're going to introduce a new material, and it might not look like one because it is grey concrete. It's slightly darker than the cyan terracotta, but that's what we're using here. And these are just going to act like structural lines that are going to weave around the white concrete and break up the flatness and allow us to bring new shapes into this build. So that's simply the first thing that I've attempted, and I take a step back and look at it and I want to change this. And I think I've learned straight away that having these blocks get cut off in the middle of the white walls, that ain't gonna look too good. So ditching this idea and building up the basics that we've sort of established a little bit further, I feel like this is all going in the right direction right now. And when the thing has been built up all around, I think it's going to make a lot more sense. So there'll be more tweaks to what you see here, and we'll get this built up around the other sides. I am getting better at this as I go here. I think what we need is more white space. You can see there's a lot less of the grey concrete over here, and as we come around there starts to be more of it again. So I think I might rip out some of the little connections we've already created, and especially down the bottom here. I don't like the changes I made there, but yeah, I'm really starting to get into a groove, so I'm just going to crack on and see where this ends up. And here I am, making big white concrete boxes again. How do I seem to do this every other episode? Well, this is working out pretty well. There was some revisions to do towards the end to tidy up the entire design, but I think the whole thing actually turned out pretty cool. But it is also kind of odd and unique, and it's got a long way to go yet. There is something rather important that I have neglected to do, and that is to put down torches in this area, because it is now a dark room. And there are things spawning. In fact, down the bottom there's actually a skeleton. Look at that. That's a skeleton caught inside this thing. It's like it's a mob grinder now, which we do not want. So I need to somehow jump my way around here and throw in some extra torches to keep it all lit up. Random interruption. I just discovered this. A very good sign that our slime farm is working well. It is overloaded with drops at the moment. This farm is absolutely epic. Look at all those slime blocks. I am out and about doing errands at the moment, and our witch farm has done us good because we are now backed up on honey bowls. Goes all the way back there, that's excellent. So with all of that honey, I've filled up the honey bank, and I'm wondering how long till this thing gets emptied again. Oh, and we've also added this as well. So there's what look like windows into honey cells, and then a giant pipe going into this little containment area for the honey. Really bringing this part of the base to life. I need to stop getting distracted, but the reason I have been is because I've been out gathering materials ready for this build. You might notice the top of it there is a little bit bigger. I went up there and changed that. And now I've got some materials that we're going to use for decorating this thing. Now let me tell you something, I am out of my comfort zone here, okay? This is not quite how I normally do things. Everything here has been improvised in survival. None of it has been pre-planned in creative. And I have loved what I've done with this next part. But as you can see, there's loads of scaffolding in the way. We can't actually check out what changes I've made. Well, it's a good thing we got the camera account on the server. I can go ahead and whack out all of these supports and we can start to see what it is I've built. Let's look up here. Do you like it? I can see I've left a hole in the side of the middle section. But yeah, we have started to detail this with all kinds of crazy shapes and colours. Oh, and it's just looking really crazy and industrial and toy-like. I absolutely love this. Rome wasn't built in a day, or so they say. And I'm not comparing this to Rome. No, this very strange style has nothing on Roman architecture. But it's been a lot of fun to put this together. And as you'll see up the top here, I haven't finished that part. And around the side here, I've done a fair bit over here as well. But it actually takes its time to get into all these little places and figure out how you're going to fill the spaces. But so far, so good. I am really liking this. And what I think we need next with this is feedback. I feel like the block palette needs to expand a little bit. As I drift around the top here, you'll see some of the materials we've been putting to use, and I do feel like it needs one or two more things in there. Maybe an additional colour, because at the moment, everything is white, grey, and orange. So maybe one other thing in there could work out pretty well. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know that I like to break things up, and we'll be back over here later to finish up the floor. I want to address what's going to happen over on this side. And I've also been thinking that down the bottom here, we're going to kind of open things up as well. Let's have a look. If we rip this bit up right here, it'll lead us to our storage. And I want to upgrade this with some redstone and more shulker boxes and whatnot. So that'll make a perfect little entrance to get into this space. And I don't think you'd actually need another entrance for anything down here. Oh yeah, and this is my temporary storage area. Full of shulker boxes for this project. And a zombie, apparently. Anyways, I have another project in mind for the next part of this episode. So let's head out of here. And now for a moment of deja vu. A whole day has passed by. I'm back over here at the bone farm collecting bones for my shop. And there's been a development. While I'm standing here, I am also now collecting ink sacs as well. At some point, I need to decorate this and make it look a little more interesting. Whoa! Look at that! Hey! We filled up all the way! On both sides! Oh my goodness me! I'm going to need to expand the storage then. Well, that is absolutely superb. I've really been struggling to get the ink sac drops. And now we got 2 double chests and more. So I absolutely love our squid farm tower. But look at what's directly below. Just through those trees is the entrance to the skeleton farm. And so what I've realised is that when I'm down there, I'm also loading the portals for our squid farm. And all I needed to do was come over here and clear out a little bit more river down below. And that means that the only place the squids can spawn is inside of our farm. So this thing is now a little bit redundant, but there's no way in getting rid of it. It's amazing. Our next order of business for this episode is to modify our witch farm. And what's ironic is that I wanted to build this thing and then never mention it again because it was the same design as Season 6, but we've spent a couple of episodes tweaking and changing things. And now we're actually going to give this thing an upgrade as we've had a little bit of a request to add some functionality for it and help out another hermit here on the server. Stress Monster, welcome to my witch farm in the sky. I believe I have something here that you are after.
I feel like you may have something that I'm after, and this is absolutely amazing. I love witch farms so much.
It's a sight to behold, and it produces a plentiful amount of drops, but I filled out your book. And
yes, you did. Thank you so much for doing that. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, you've got a belt.
Oh, don't. You told me to push the button earlier, and I got a stupid purple belt.
Oh.
Apparently, you said
wonderful.
Push the button. I pushed the button, and now I'm apparently, I can be ridiculed because I have the worst belt.
Well, you can ridicule me for not having a belt, right? I don't even have a belt.
It's so high as well, the belt, because you have to have it showing above the trousers.
And that is soon subject to change. This episode, we are absolutely getting our hands on a belt. Just wait and see. But yes, you have potions. And so I thought I'd well, you don't have potions yet, but I thought
don't have them yet.
That's right. I thought I'd reach out and show you what I've been literally throwing away from my witch farm, right?
You haven't.
Yeah. This is so full up that the rest just gets spit out into lava.
So, I noticed though. Okay, so most of these are potions of healings, yeah?
Yes.
But I've noticed that you've got some fire resistance. Now, fire resistance is one potion that a lot of people are actually looking for. Is there like a specific way? How did you get these? Can we sort out maybe?
I literally got them by accident. I don't really know how.
Okay.
But I think there might be a way I can manipulate the witches. If they're on fire when they die and I kill them with my sword, then I think that's what causes them to drop fire. So.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
With some engineering, I might be able to do more than just fire and health. So I should be able to supply you with a whole bunch.
Oh, amazing. Thank you.
I do have one little request.
Okay, go on.
Can I have some sort of like pass to the potion shop where I can just grab what I need, you know?
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to abuse that. I'm not going to come along and like take all the stock and open up my own shop. Just for personal use.
Here you go. I've done you something that I also have 10 ton of because I have the farm. There we go.
Sweet. Right, I must not place this down on the ground.
Do not place it down on the ground. It will lose it forever.
Yes.
And then I'll just have to rewrite.
That would be very, very bad.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. This helped me out loads.
So there we go. We've made a deal with Stress Monster. She's going to come over here and take any of those excess potions. And what we're going to try and do is find a way to get more of them than just instant health. So what do we need to do to get fire resistance potions? We need to burn the witches. And we're going to do it with lava. So if we set them on fire as they fall down here and I kill them at the bottom, they could in theory then drop the fire resistance potion. So if I just put some lava right here, it's going to flow 1, 2 and 3 blocks and the sign is going to hold it up, and I'm hoping that the witches will bob up and down in the water here, clip the lava and then fall down. There is also a possibility that they rise upwards in the lava, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do about that, so we'll get the camera account to observe this. I'm going to go down below and start using the farm. Okay, we've got a couple of witches coming through and they go straight under the lava. I think I know why though. Okay, their hitbox isn't 2 meters. In fact, it would probably need to be a little taller than 2 meters. And so they never actually collide with the lava. So that might not work. So we had 4 or so witches come through here without touching the lava. I've now put a cobblestone wall at the end. And that means that the witch isn't touching the water. Interesting. Something else I didn't think of. And this clearly isn't going to work. Okay, we've got a lot of witches coming through. Right, they're drinking their potion. They're swimming up. Yeah, that's not good. It's not good at all. This is going to end badly, isn't it? Or maybe not. No, it ended okay. See you later. So I have reverted my changes at the top. And what we're working with here is a little bit tricky because of the nature of this drop chamber. It's not a 1 block space, it's a little bit bigger than that because of the glass panes. And so what I can't do is put a dispenser in and among where this glass is right here. What I can do though is put one directly behind it. And I'm thinking that what we'll do is set up a clock that puts lava into this area. Now the only space it's going to hit is actually this block right in front of it. We don't really want to let it flow over into this space. Only witches that collide with the hitbox of the lava will get set on fire. If this was in the middle, it would hit every witch inside of there. The other issue is that some of the items might sort of drop out through this gap. Maybe we can improve that a little bit by doing this. You know what? If they make their way into this corner right here, which would be quite rare, the minecart actually travels under it. So drops aren't an issue with this. Now we just need a little bit of redstone to periodically power the dispenser. So my friends, I built a redstone contraption that is going to do the job. We got to put lava inside of this dispenser, which is actually very awkward to do from this angle. So let's pop over here. And I've got a birch fence gate here we're going to use as well. So you see it pops it out for just a second, and it's going to do that every so often. Now, if this for some reason breaks, it would be a good idea to have that there. That hitbox is not going to interfere with the witches landing in this area. I have just realised it will interfere with me hitting them with my sword. We're just going to have to pray that this thing doesn't break, basically. But what does actually work is just having this here. If I stand in this spot, I can behave like normal, and if the lava ever flows out of there, I will be safe. So how does this thing work? Well, I think actually we're going to go into a redstone world to show you. And here is that same contraption. It's quite easy to understand. We've got a comparator decay clock going around in a circle here. So the redstone strength slowly decays. Now, when it reaches 0 here, it turns on this redstone torch, which sends a signal back to the beginning and restarts this thing over again. And then this is the on-off switch. So once I hit that, it means the lava isn't going to be dispensed. And because of the nature of the way it's set up, you know, I can hit it on and then just hit it off again, and it's never really going to break anything down here. If I do turn it off at the exact timing that this thing at the front changes, it is actually possible to break it, but it's very unlikely. So the next thing we'll talk about is just the redstone torch here. It powers the piston, and the moving of the block just means that this redstone can turn off and on again, and that dispenses the lava. So now it's testing time, and the best way for me to do this is with the clicker. Ah, that witch was just out of range of the lava. So yeah, I need to operate this farm like I will do when I'm AFK, otherwise there's no point in testing. Some more are dropping down, and what they'll do is they'll nudge each other around, and eventually one of them will get nudged into the lava. Just like that, now we might get a fire resistance potion. Although, I have no way of knowing if we do or not. Well, the lava and them being on fire makes them jump up and down, so it's harder for my player to hit them. It's kind of unfortunate. The lava is also going to destroy items as well, so there is inefficiencies here. It's not a great time for AFKing at the moment, and I think I've got some solutions to problems we've seen, but no fire resistance potions yet, which I've got to admit is a little bit concerning. But while I work on some modifications and hopefully get this thing up and running, remember earlier when Stress Monster mentioned that she had a belt? Hey, you've got a belt.
Oh, don't. You told me to push the button earlier, and I got a stupid purple belt.
So yeah, while recording this episode, shenanigans have been going down. The game, the belt that Mumbo Jumbo's created, is causing some chaos here on the Hermitcraft server. So this is what Stress Monster was talking about, the belt that Mumbo Jumbo has created. This is like a social experiment where slowly this ticker is going to tick up from the grey and purple on the left all the way over to the orange and red on the right. And then it becomes like a social status or symbol to have the red belt or a higher belt than other people. Now every time I've come over here and checked on it, it's pretty much been purple or grey. And as time goes by and hermits start to accumulate bigger belts, then it's going to make its way closer to the red one, right? Unless someone goes and presses the button. However, if you've got like a green belt and you press it when it's on purple, you then get downgraded. So it's going to be an interesting experiment. I wanted to grab a purple or a blue, and as you can see, it's currently on blue. Now, all of the instructions and details are inside of this book, so as always, if you want to pause the video and read the pages for yourself, or you can go and watch Mumbo's video where he probably explains it better than I or anyone else could do. I am now going to claim the blue belt. Let's press the button, and I heard a piston go off right before. Wait, I thought, yeah, there you go, something gets dispensed. Alright, cool, I am now a blue belt. Look at this. I think Doc might be taking the game a little bit too seriously, but then again, this is exactly what Mumbo wanted, right? The social experiment is unfolding. It sounds like the belt is currently blue, and I don't want anyone else to be blue belt. Look, they're debating over it. I'm going to take it. Wait, I can't actually press it. What voodoo magic is this? Is this lag? What's going on? Oh, I think I know what's going on here. Here we go. Here we go. Stand visible, yes. Wait, what? Surely it's an armor stand. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Press the button. Oh, it's blue. It's blue. And it's mine. Right? Yep. Doc's left. Oh, he's gonna hate me for that. And that, my friends, is how you play the game. We're not going to let anyone else be a blue belt. Oh, This is terrific. Well done, Mumbo. So the rules go that once you've obtained a belt, you need to wear it on your skin. However, Mumbo is all for customization, and no, I'm not going to turn myself into a blue bee. I've got something a little bit more transformational in mind. Check out what you're seeing right here. Yeah, that's right. I bumped into a wandering trader earlier, and he traded me his robe, which is blue. Which makes so much sense right now. I absolutely love it. Look at this thing. Oh, that's my way of showing the other hermits that I'm a blue belter. So my friends, what's the status update on the witch farm? Well, once again, I'm not really doing things in creative, I'm just doing them in survival, and as enjoyable as that is, a lot of experimentation has really failed me, and we've got 2 potions so far. It could be that if less other hermits are on, we'll be able to get more of those. But for now, I'm going to have to leave you hanging on this one. I really don't know what the path to the solution is, and it's going to take time to figure out. So we'll be wrapping the episode up right here. Maybe you don't want to click off the video just yet. Maybe you want to keep watching for a moment. I don't know. But anyway, leave a like if you enjoyed the episode. Make sure you subscribe if you want to catch more Hermitcraft episodes. And I will see you in the next one.